Oh, God. I'm vaping right now, Jay. Jesus Christ. Vaping is nothing but a surrogate cock. How you feeling, Jay? From the Viking X. I'm feeling good. I'm in my hotel room. A lot of stress today. Moving out of the rehab facility. And I was in my wheelchair way too long. I had someone help me box up all my personal belongings, but it was just too much. And getting into the, getting checked into the hotel and whatnot, and then getting settled in. I'm just exhausted. It sounds like I didn't do shit today. All I did was take a van ride from the rehab over to the fucking hotel. But I fucking am exhausted. Getting up out of this hospital bed is a motherfucker because, getting out of this hotel bed is an absolute motherfucker because it's so fucking low and there's no rails to push off with your triceps. Oh, Jesus. So I am here for the next week until my friend picks me up, and I believe he rented a Silverado, so there should be enough legroom in a Silverado. So anyway, look at that wonderful artwork they got in my hotel room. Isn't that gorgeous? %, pausining. So I am going to try and take a lift to Planet Fitness tomorrow. And the reason I'm going to Planet, if you guys are going to start fucking bitching about Planet, I only need to do 3 exercises because it's been so long since I've been out of the gym. I'm going to do a Smith machine bench press. And then I'm going to bring my grip in a little bit, and I'm going to do a Smith machine incline, and then I'm going to flatten the bench again and do a Smith machine flat close grip bench. So before you pass fucking judgment on Planet Fitness, you got to look at it from my point of view. I'm going to be in a goddamn walker, and I can do my fucking 3 exercises all on the same piece of equipment without moving around the whole goddamn gym. And I don't need to be doing free weights. I haven't been in the gym since April 6th is the day I came crashing down with that 600. So it's been over a month, so I've been in the gym. It's not going to hurt me to start out with some Smith machine. It's going to make my life actually a whole lot easier. I'm just going to do those 3 exercises. I might do some machine military press as a finishing move. But I've had a little bit of a dinged up right rotator cuff. And believe it or not, it's from goddamn pushing myself around in that stupid fucking wheelchair. Because I found I was bringing my arm too far back to try and get a real good push. So I wound up injuring my fucking self in that stupid fucking wheelchair. But it's feeling better. We'll see. I just want to get back to my basic 3, power, workout on push day, bench, incline, close grips. And if I feel okay and I can do some machine military, that's just icing on the cake. And that would be a successful day. And then I'll need to sit down for a while. Hopefully, I heard it's near the mall, so I'll probably go get lunch somewhere and just chill, because it's going to be a lot for me moving around that much. But no, don't call me Jay Ironside Masters, because the wheelchair's gone, bro. I got taken over here in a handicapped van in a wheelchair, and then they dropped me off with my walker. I am done with the wheelchair, so all those jokes can go away. I am in a walker from now on. So that's my story. Talk about the Muslims. Besides the fact that we need to eradicate them off the face of the planet, there's not much to talk about. How long are you allowed to bear weight on your legs right now? He really didn't give me a time parameter. It's more of a distance at one time. Like, for example, I asked him, I said, can I park my car, run inside to a Walgreens, or not run, use the walker, buy a few things, and then come back outside and be done walking? He said, yeah, but that's going to be a lot. So I can, go from a parking lot inside a place, and then I'm going to need a break. He never said how many times a day I could do that, but I'll know. Trust me, after I get done with my morning workout and I sit down and rest, I will know what I did and how much recovery time I'm going to need. Because that's going to be quite a bit, getting up off that bench every single set to add weight. It's going to be quite a bit. So that's going to be my physical therapy for tomorrow. It's basically just, getting up and down off that bench inside the Smith machine, because that's going to be a lot of work on my legs. Lotion and tissues are on sale at CVS. I actually got some hospital grade lotion right next to me. And what do I need lotion for? I eat my own semen. There's testosterone in it. I'm watching Silence of the Lambs and this live at the same time. Buffalo Billowing. Wow, that sounds like a good time. I don't know why he got me on. That's an incredible movie. I get more intelligent every time I watch Silence of the Lambs. That movie just makes you more intelligent. I like movies like that. Yeah, I don't want to watch a movie where I feel like I just got dumber the past 2 hours. I don't find shit like that entertaining. Can you stay with Lou or Jason? Jason will cook you some nice low-carb meals. Oh, God, staying with Jason would drive me nuts. And why would I want to stay at Lou's? Lou, I guess, hates my guts. I really don't even care about Lou anymore. I got bigger fish to fry. You know what? I don't even want to hear if Lou's talking about me. I'm just going to take the high road, because I got about 5 more weeks of real hard work on these legs. I've been rehabbing for 5 weeks. I got about 5 more real hard weeks ahead of me. Just because I'm walking with a walker doesn't mean it's time to give up on physical therapy. People that quit their physical therapy too early are the ones that wind up with a limp for the rest of their life. You know the people. They got a mullet, they drink bush beer, they smoke cigarettes, and they got a limp. Yeah, that's because they didn't finish their fucking PI or their physical therapy. Would you put your accident down to winstrel or bad luck? I can't completely blame it on the winstrel. I mean, that's just stupid because people have obviously lifted a shit ton of weight on winstrel before. But I was dehydrated. I was living the trucker lifestyle, not drinking enough water, and I was on winstrel at the same time, which is a bad combo. If I'd been drinking my fucking gallon of water like I should have been, I don't think the winstrel would have mattered. I think I would, and I was on Tren, which dries you out to a certain degree. Any androgen really is going to dry you out to a certain degree. The higher the androgenic rating. I was on Tren. I was on Masteron. And Masteron is basically a DHT derivative. It's barely different than DHT. That's going to dry you out. And I was on test propionate, and you don't retain a lot of water from test prop because it's in and out of your system so fast. So I was on 3 compounds, that aren't very conducive to lifting heavy. I know people are going to say, "Oh, bullshit! So and so squatted 1,000 on Tren." Yeah, maybe he did, but he was probably on Decon Anadrol too. Things that were keeping water in his body. I was on. That's all there is to it. But that doesn't mean you're going to pull a tendon. If I would have been drinking my water, I might be okay. Like winning the fucking lotto. It is. So we can talk about it till the cows come home, and it really doesn't change the fact that I tore 2 quad tendons, and I'm sitting here in a hospital bed. In a hotel room. With 5 weeks of rehab to go. So, creatine and electrolytes. I really don't think creatine is good for you. You got to drink so much goddamn water to not be dehydrated while you're taking creatine. There's a trace amount, or there's more than a trace. The only time I take creatine is with my pre-workout, to give me a little bit of extra. But that's about it. I don't take supplemental creatine other than with my pre-workout. Because I'm not a big fan of creatine. Creatine is for you teenagers and you hard gainers who can't do anything to get above 185 pounds. You guys are the ones that need to be pounding creatine. Jay, I think the Delray Misfits buzz is going down. Big J is going to resurrect the Misfits. I'm sure once I meet up with Brad and Andrew will have that twinkle in his eye. Once again, you guys will see it on camera. There's just, been a lack of content to film. Everyone's got a different work schedule now compared to the old days. And so they, they're keeping the thing alive with the podcast, but that's really hard to do. It's hard to. What the Misfits started out as, a YouTube channel, and that's all it is a YouTube channel. Trying to keep it alive with a podcast, that's a tall order. but they're doing it. Give them goddamn credit. I personally don't listen to much of the podcast, because I know those guys. It's the same old bullshit for me, listening to that shit. And, I know lately the podcasts have been spiced up a little bit with Bobzilla. But before that, they got into a little bit of a rut where the podcasts were just boring as fuck. It was like, Lenny and Jason opening up presents from the fans. And then you got to listen to stories about Lenny going to bars and hooking up with trannies. I mean, you know what? I got better things to do. Sorry. Will you be doing podcasts all the time once you're in Florida? I won't have anything else to do for about the next 5 weeks. So, yeah, I'd like to be. Does John Brody have the potential to be the... Lenny is disgusting. Jason is looking so horrible. Man, he is aging badly. I don't understand why Jason still does those. I don't understand why Jason still does those same stupid poses. Like, what's he trying to show? He's lost almost every little video. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why this keeps pausing. I'm on the motel Wi-Fi. Maybe their Wi-Fi. Some asshole's probably trying to watch a movie on the hotel Wi-Fi. There's always one selfish motherfucker on the Wi-Fi that ruins it for everybody else. Because you only got so much bandwidth, and usually courtesy Wi-Fi is for people to check their email, check their social media, bullshit like that. And then you got some prick trying to watch a movie. Are you masturbating? No, but it's early. Don't count me out. It's really not that late. What time is it? 11:30? What do you think of blacks always accusing whites of stealing their music? I don't think about that at all. Oh, it's morning in Australia. 2 a.m. in Delray Beach. 1 a.m. in Central. I unplugged my clock to plug my phone in, so I have no idea what time it is. Do you enjoy listening to John Brody sing? I've actually never heard John Brody on guitar serenading. So I can't make a comment on that. Do you think about Ronnie Coleman's ability to never ejaculate again? I didn't know about that. I never heard that. What happened? Did he injure his prostate? Because it's your prostate that causes you to ejaculate. How long are you out of action? I'm going to do upper body tomorrow, you dumb motherfucker. Is Joe Biden a pedophile? No. I think Joe Biden is the only Democrat who isn't completely batshit crazy. I'm obviously not going to vote for Joe Biden, But if a Democrat happened to win the presidency, I hope it's Joe Biden, because he is the one most towards the center, and he's the only one who's not socialist. The rest of those crazy bastards are fucking socialist fruitcakes. One of them is even a homo. That Bougie Budge, or whatever his name is a dick sucker. We can't have a dick sucker as the President of the United States. That just doesn't work for me. Should rehab with Barry Sanders. Why? What happened to Barry? Did he get hurt? He's been out of football for fucking 10 years. Joe Biden's a creep. Yeah, but he's the only one that's normal compared to the rest of those losers. As long as it's a girl's dick, it's fine. That's fucking Lenny logic right there. You know what he calls fucking cum that comes out of a tranny? He calls that female cum. Yeah, when a tranny comes in his mouth, I'm like, Lenny, did you swallow the cum? He's like, yeah, it was female cum. Jay, will you be returning to the gym where the accident happened? I could. I'll be here for a week. But I'm probably going to just train at Planet Fitness, because I'm not going to be training heavy. I'm just getting back into it. I haven't been to the gym in over 5 weeks. Obviously, I won't be doing legs. And I got a little bit of a sore shoulder, so I might be sticking a Smith machine for my pressing movements. And as far as back is concerned, I'm not going to go crazy with my back workouts while I got these sore legs, because your legs are big time stabilizers when you're doing heavy back. Think about a backhoe. When a backhoe backs up to a job site to dig a big fucking hole, what's the first thing it does? It spreads out those big fucking legs that stabilize the fucking piece of equipment. Then it starts digging. Well, I don't got my legs, so I'm going to be doing back nice and easy, so I don't see a problem doing that at Planet Fitness. I'm not going to be using straps either. While I don't have legs to stabilize my body while I'm doing back, I really have no business using straps, because I shouldn't be going any heavier than my grip can handle. Maybe maybe in 5 weeks, when I'm not wearing the knee braces and I'm walking perfectly normal, and I can actually, do a little bit of light work with my legs. Maybe I'll use a set of straps on back and start going heavier. But for the next 5 weeks, no straps. That's part of my rehab plan, because I don't have my legs to stabilize my body. And you're really using your legs a lot on some of those super heavy back lifts. Jesse Ventura is a scumbag, dude. Come on. I can't believe you said that. What's your thoughts on Bobzilla? I haven't met the man in person, but I've been exchanging messages on Instagram for a long time now with Bobzilla. Long before he was on the podcast, He reached out to me, and made a joke and said, "Are you sure you didn't meet a woman named so-and-so while you were on spring break in 1988? I think you could be my father." So we've had a good friendship since the very beginning because he got me laughing. Yeah, there's a slim chance I could be Bobzilla's father. Bobzilla thinks there's a woman in the background of one of my spring break pictures that could be his mother, which is hysterical. I was in Fort Lauderdale in 1988. Big J, if I do steroids, will I have to be on TRT for life, or will my natural test recover? I don't know how old you are. That's a crucial piece of the puzzle right there, is your age. I don't know what your test level is right now because I haven't looked at your blood work. So it's impossible for me to answer your question. But I'll give you some general answers. If you're anywhere near 40, when you come off your cycle, why not just stay on test 1 cc a week until you're ready to do your next cycle? Because that's a lot cheaper than doing a PCT, which stands for post-cycle therapy. Because by the time you do the HCG, the Clomid, and the Novaldex, you've spent a big chunk of change, and your test levels are still not going to be that great. And then once you go off the PCT, your test levels are going to go down a little bit. So I kind of think PCT is bullshit unless you're really young. So that's just my opinion, and I don't know your personal situation. So, in other words, go fuck yourself. Lenny is a pathologically repressed individual. He's repressing his homosexuality like he's repressing his anger towards his abusive father. I'm not a psychologist, nor do I claim to be one. But that's a pretty serious diagnosis right there. Oh, here's a great one. J Master's biggest cream pie. Nutritional content of female ejaculate. Need to get my macros. I don't know. You're going to have to research that. I think it's mostly water because I've definitely had it in my mouth before. There is going to be trace amounts of urine in a good squirt, because even though it squirt comes from a separate bladder, it does not come from your urine bladder like some people say it does. It comes from a different gland. It does not come from the woman's bladder, but it does travel down the same tube. It does travel down the urethra before it exits the body. So if there's any urine in the urethra, a good squirt is going to push that urine out. So there is going to be trace amounts of urine in a good squirt. But anyone who tells you that the squirt is just piss is full of shit. Squirt is very healthy for you, and I recommend drinking it as often as possible. Um, so you can't ever eat too much pussy, you know? Just strap-ons. I don't know what that means, but that's kind of funny. Big J, if I take steroids, will I have to be on TRT for life? That's the same question we just answered, idiot. Are you going to do pull-ups? No, dude, come on. For one, I just said I'm doing chest tomorrow, and 5 weeks out of the gym, I'd be lucky to get one pull-up. Why do you want me to see me embarrass myself, you asshole? See, people like you that try and trick me into embarrassing myself are nothing but assholes. Do you feel any need for alcohol yet? Absolutely not, because I'm about a week ahead of schedule as far as my physical therapy. Because, they got shit written down on paper, and I have that with me now that I checked out of the rehab and I'm in a hotel. I'm really about a week ahead of schedule. So, and I attribute that to two things. Not drinking, because if I was drinking, I wouldn't be giving it 100% in every rehab session. And also to my collagen cycle. Who is this idiot? ADSMCP85 giving me workout advice for my back. Lat pull downs and dumbbell rows face down on an incline bench. Maybe that works for you, homo, but I'm going to do my own back workout. I'm sick of taking workout advice from you guys who are barely 200 pounds. The type of assholes who tell everybody they could be huge if they wanted to be, but you're not. Get the fuck out of here. Same thing with you shrimps giving me fucking nutritional advice. Have you ever ate a broad's shit? Absolutely not. Louis Simmons says to lift with your back, not your legs. Yeah, well, Westside Barbell has pretty much ruined powerlifting. If you watch those guys bench and squat, their range of motion is just ridiculously short. And what they're doing is they're using the rule book to their advantage, which is smart. If you want to win, that's what you do. But they're really not even lifting anymore. They're using that rule book to their advantage, and basically their squat suit and their bench shirt is doing all the work. I'd love to see those guys lift raw. That guy who just did 1,000. The guy who's got the world record for the total, Mr. 3000, Mr. 3K10, or whatever his name is. I'd love to see him bench raw. I mean, how many times can he bench 405? And he can bench 1,000. I'd love to see him just put 405 on and go to failure. I'll bet it's not going to be as impressive as you'd think for a 1,000-pound bencher. That's all I have to say about that. But they don't compete like that. He's good at what he does. But they've basically ruined powerlifting. I won't watch it. Nobody's doing the Ruby. What about Big Lenny? Thought he was a bodybuilder. What about Big Rob? What about Jason Genova? The swollen old man challenged all those guys, $1,000 if any of those clowns can beat him. Nobody wants a chance at $1,000. All you got to do is beat the swollen old man, and he will give you $1,000. And he said, if he beats you, you just give him whatever you can afford, because he knows those bums don't have much money. With the exception of Big Rob, who claims to make $300,000 a year. But we all know Big Rob doesn't work, and Big Rob gets an allowance from his dad. The Franklin Bank scandal is Rob's father. I believe it. Can I get TRT if I'm 22? Probably not. At that age, I would definitely do PCT. 22, you're just a pup. Jay, I'm drinking. Well, that's awesome. You gonna make it to work tomorrow? What? You're not a psychologist? And here I've been following you thinking you were one. I just play a psychologist on Instagram. I'm not a psychologist either. Everything I said about Lenny is my theory, and my theory probably means jack shit. Don't be so rough on yourself. Sounded pretty good to me. Why are you staying in a motel? Because right now, when I am weight bearing, meaning when I'm walking in my walker, my legs, my braces on my legs have to stay in the locked position, locked straight. So it's kind of a pain in the dick. And during therapy, I'm allowed to unlock them to 60 degrees, to do ankle slides, to try and get range of motion back. But on the 19th, when I'm in my walker, with weight on my feet, I am allowed to open up my braces to 45 degrees. And during therapy, I am allowed to open up my braces to 90 degrees. So the 19th is the next big landmark in my physical therapy. And those two things are going to make traveling to Florida in a rental car much, much more comfortable. So, yeah, being peg-legged when you're in your walker sucks. So being able to set these things so that I can have 45 degrees of flexion, which isn't a lot, is still going to help. So the money I'm spending to stay in this hotel for a week is well worth it. Trust me, well worth it. If it was your legs, you'd probably be doing the same thing. Is it unhealthy to jerk off 4 times a day at 19? No, not necessarily. The only thing I think that it might do to you is it might desensitize you a little bit. So if you do get lucky and you get around a real female, your dick's going to be used to your hand doing it a certain way, and you might have a little bit of a hard time getting a hard on because you've been jerking off 4 times a motherfucking day. So if you think you're going to have a date or something like that, don't jerk off for 2 days. Give your dick a chance to become sensitive again. Because right now you're just beating that motherfucker up. And my fucking right shoulder's hurting just by holding up this phone. Ah. Yeah, I got an injured right shoulder. Oh, God, it hurts. What happened with... Oh, I'm not going to read that. Is Nate and Livia taking you back to Florida? Shit, you guessed it. Yep. And I'm going to be cuckolding Nate the entire way. Nate is going to have a chastity device on his little Asian penis. And I am going to be cream pieing Olivia in every state we go through. And Nate has to lick her clean. Big J, I farted on my girlfriend yesterday. That's fucking awesome. Fuck yes. Take it to the next level. Don't even come back. I don't even want to hear from you till you say, Big J, I shit on my girlfriend yesterday. Take it to the next level, bro. Test her limits. Test her limits. Keep upping the ante until she dumps you. And then just apologize and get her back. Have you seen Jason's butt plug? No, why would I want to see that? Since lifting is going to be off for a while, is a slow cut through food your main goal? I don't really think about things that deeply like a homosexual would. I mean, fuck, I ordered a pizza tonight. So I guess the answer to that question is no. What do you think of Vince McMahon finally giving the heavyweight belt to a black? Well, that proves that wrestling is fake. Demolition Man 27 hit a PR in the deadlift today. 435, and it felt light, Jay. Well, good job, bro. You'll be at 500 in no time. Big J, will you be using your food stamps on grape drink and barbecue chips? No, but that's funny as fuck. I'll probably be using my food stamps on steak and lobster, and I'll have Brad in line behind me filming me doing it. It's a Monday. Why are you guys drinking on a Monday? Your odds of meeting up with a drunk chick who wants dick on a Monday it's the worst of any day of the week. So even if you're a raging alcoholic, you should take Mondays off. Big Lenny only doing GHB and man ladies. I don't know what that... 2:30 in the morning. It's not 2:30 here, is it? I don't think so. I woke up about an hour and a half ago. I fell asleep early. I was so tired. Jay, what do you think about CrossFit? Thinking about starting? Well, if you're going to become a CrossFitter, why don't you become a full-time faggot? How about that? I'm pretty far behind on the comments. It's hard to keep going. Okay. Why doesn't no one tell Jason about his bad hygiene? He is never going to get a girlfriend. I have no clue. Jason's not going to get a girlfriend because Jason thinks he's too good to have an autistic chick as a girlfriend. No one who's not slightly retarded is going to have any interest in him. You know, to a chick who's got the same level of autism as him, she might find him fascinating. No one else is going to want to put up with his childish fucking behavior. So, give it up. It has nothing to do with his hygiene. It's his childish autistic behavior. And he's too bullheaded. He doesn't think he's retarded. So he thinks he can land a normal chick. Well, I got news for you, buddy. You better humble up and lower your standards a little bit. Because, you know, if he was willing to bang other autistics, he would be having a lot better luck. Big J must hate Canadians. Fucking guy ignoring all the Canadians in here. Canuck game. I don't hate Canada. Canada's our good neighbor. Shit, people from Canada are trying to get in the United States. People in Canada love Canada. No, I like Canada. They're a good neighbor. What do you think Jason's IQ is? I don't know. Jason is the Misfits. Without Jason, you have no platform. He's a money prick, but it's true. That's not necessarily true. I mean, you think about all the Misfit videos we did without that loser around. We don't need Jason around to do Misfit videos. In fact, I prefer him not to be around. Do you think Big Lenny is smart or dumb? I think Big Lenny, he has some definite cognitive ability. Like Big Lenny can read an article and he can quote things from that article 15 years later about some fucking strongman that you've never fucking heard of or care about. But so Lenny's definitely got some cognitive ability. He's not stupid. He's just bullheaded. I mean, you can tell Lenny he's doing something wrong, because obviously take one look at him. He's not doing anything right. And he is going to come up with 101 excuses, and he'll have a good argument of why he thinks he's doing everything right. Because, oh no, so-and-so does it this way. So-and-so takes his insulin 15 minutes before the end of his workout. And then he drinks 100 milligrams of maltodextrin. And then he goes and has a big meal. So he's smart if he can remember all that shit. But he's stupid if he thinks that's working for him. Because he obviously doesn't look in the mirror. Thoughts on finasteride? Have you taken it? Any sides? I do take finasteride, which is the generic name for Propecia. Helps you from losing your hair, helps you from getting an enlarged prostate. I just don't take it as often as it's prescribed. I take like 1 milligram once or twice a week. I basically take it with my AI, because I take my AI once or twice a week. I take a lot less of that bullshit than I used to. Once I found out how bad that shit is for you. I don't get sore nipples on 500 milligrams of test a week. So, when I'm doing 500 mgs a test, I just do AI once a week, and I'll do my finasteride that same morning. So, yeah, I think it's kind of funny. These clinics put people on TRT, and then they expect you to buy their AI, and it's way overpriced. And when you're on TRT, you don't even fucking need an AI. It's a fucking joke. Big J, any tips for midgets? Yeah, stand on a telephone book so you can put my dick in your mouth. Why are you so close to your phone? Because I'm in bed, motherfucker. My arms are tired. I need a selfie stick. Inshane exane dex membrane says, so weird looking at Big Lenny knowing he's a cock gobbler. So weird. Yeah, I couldn't put it better myself. Palace Kevin, do you give blood? No, I do something better than give blood. I do what they call a double cell donation. They take out my blood, they spin it, which basically separates the cells from the plasma, and then they put the plasma back in my arm. So instead of walking out of there with less blood, I walk out of there with thinner blood. I get a real good deal on it. Is Lenny gaining muscle? Come on, man. I'm thinking about TRT. What would be a good dosage? I'll tell you, I think a good dosage for TRT is 400, because the amount of muscle you can carry around while you're doing 400 mgs of test a week compared to 250 is a pretty big deal. Remember, you're only going to be as big as you are on your cruise. If you blast and cruise, I don't care how big you get when you blast. I really don't. How big are you when you're cruising? That's what matters. Because the majority of the time you're gonna be cruising, and Big J doesn't really care how big you are when you blast. How big are you when you're cruising? Like most of these top pros you see in the Olympia, they're fucking I wouldn't say they're small, but they look small to me off season. So, for one thing, they're not on their goddamn synthol. These guys shrink like a motherfucker when they get off the synthol. Look how small Branch Warren is now. Oh. So yeah, you want to be big on your cruise. So I recommend 400. I used to get some testosterone blend, like a Sustanon 400. So I would do 1 cc of that a week. It was perfect. But if you can find some 250 shit, just I don't know, do a cc and a what's a cc and a half of 250? 375, 250. Yeah, cc and a half of some test 250 is gonna be 375. That's about perfect. If you get some test 300, a cc and a half is gonna be 450. That'll work too. Do that. Yeah, because you're gonna be bigger in the long run. The bigger you can stay on your cruise. All right, guys, I'm getting tired. We're down to 46 people. How long we've been on the air? Anyone? Can anyone answer that question? Raw Rod. My body is struggling absorbing nutrients. Any